Las Vegas 2012, and another incredible chapter in the history of Sin City is about to be written. This is a poker game like no other. Entry fee, $1 million.
Biggest tournament ever, guaranteeing 18 million for the winner.
To see it will be to believe it.
It was called a crazy idea 1 year ago when announced.
I remember very clearly finding out that there was going to be $1 million for the World Series, and I remember what my reaction was. Never.
This is where they can turn a dream into a reality.
I think everybody's winning.
48 players have paid to enter. Among them, a former plumber turned British poker sensation.
I could get knocked out in the first hand if I was really unlucky and just get like 5 minutes of play for $1 million is insane.
Sam Trickett's incredible gift has already earned him millions, but there's been a price to pay.
I don't know what he had, but he certainly had life-changing money for most people, and he didn't have it very long.
I just bled it away. I got myself into debt, and this is when I realised I had a problem.
That was when I started to get a little bit worried.
I remember sat on my own crying and stuff because I was so upset the way things had turned out.
Now Sam's taking the gamble of his life in pursuit of poker greatness.
Sam Trickett at risk of being knocked out.
When you put in a big bet and you're bluffing, it's like lying to the missus.
Coming up, what really happens in Vegas at poker's top table.
Sam Trickett needs help immediately.
I can't handle this. The pressure's too much.
And I just knew straight away I was going to win.
Oh, my goodness.
What kind of person is willing to make a $1 million decision at the turn of a card?
I just feel like comfortable at a poker table, and I always feel like I'm the best player at the table.
And we're with Sam every nerve-shredding step of the way in the one drop.
It was like he was going into a boxing fight.
Sam Trickett!
I just said, how are you feeling? He said, I feel great. He said, I'm going to do it.
Shuffle up and deal! Go, man! Yay!
Money, 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 money. I'm rolling in the money, 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 money. I get that. Fast money in a. I get that. Fast money in a. Money, 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 money. I'm rolling in the money, 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 money. I get that. Fast money in a.
Get the money, man. Get the money, man. Get the money, man.
This was the last 200,000. The buy away the other 800,000. So hopefully this is lucky money, and I'll go turn it into 18 million.
There had been some whispers in the past, the last 2 years, of different $1 million tournaments, whether it be in Monte Carlo or Vegas. I wasn't sure that anyone would be able to get it together.
I remember very clearly finding out that there was going to be $1 million buy-in tournament at the World Series, and I remember what my reaction was. Never.
It was all like laughing about it. It's not real, like the amount of money we're going to be competing for.
Started getting closer, and you realize that not only were they going to have $1 million buy-in tournament, they were going to sell out. When I heard that Sam was going to play, my first thought was, this is the spot for him.
Biggest tournament ever, guaranteeing 18 million for the winner.
I was feeling super confident and felt like I'd be one of the favourites in the tournament when it came round.
It's so outrageous. We never thought we'd get the 48 players we set out to, but we have. And the first place prize will be $18 million, and we'll also raise over $5 million for the One Drop charity, which is a water relief organization.
Many people were talking about the $1 million buy-in tournament for years, but nobody had really had the guts to just make it happen.
I worry about, the kind of person that wants to sit down. Not someone who's a billionaire businessman. If he wants to put $1 million in, good luck to him. But someone really, even like Sam Trickett, I know that there'll be stakers and there'll be other bits and pieces, but it's frightening stuff. How do you take that mentally when you bust out of that tournament without cashing? And then you just walk back to your room and you sit there and you go, $1 million?
I'm really excited to think that I'm going to go pay $1 million to play a tournament that I could get knocked out in the first hand if I was really unlucky and just get like 5 minutes worth of play for $1 million is insane, really, but I'm not even sure if there'll ever be another event of this calibre. I could make history in the next 3 days.
Today, poker is a multi-billion-pound industry, endorsed by celebrities, glamorized by popular culture, and played by millions. A world away from the fading image of shady characters in smoky backrooms.
Poker's, you know, it's seen a huge rise in interest from the hardcore fans and the casual fans, and the way that the sport, or the game if you want, has grown.
When I started playing poker, there was a couple of guys, most of them addicted gamblers and brokes, just hanging out in the poker room trying to make enough scratch to survive. Nowadays, poker's on TV, poker's worldwide, poker's on the internet. It's the thing.
The online revolution has meant that a whole new era of poker players have started. Young people, old people, women, men. That's what's great about poker. Anyone can sit at a table. Not anyone can be a great player, but anyone can take part.
If you look, at what happened between around 2000, when internet poker went live, and 2009 or 2010, when it absolutely peaked, there's probably only been, a handful of industries or businesses or games that have had that sharp an uptick.
The industry's unbelievable growth has transformed public perception of the game. In 2011, the global online poker industry was worth an estimated $30 billion a year. And yet the fundamental reason for poker's universal appeal is simple. The game remains the same.
It's not just about a guy sitting there drunk with a whiskey and a cigar on the go. It's about people making mathematical decisions.
The skill is knowing that you have either A, the best hand, or B, an opportunity where you have the worst hand and you can bluff your opponent off the best hand.
The aim of the game is to win your opponent's cash or chips. A player will evaluate the winning probability of his cards, but the best hand doesn't always win.
Effectively, there are two ways to win a poker hand. You can get the best hand, which anybody can do. You can be dealt cards. Or you can bluff. When you have the worst hand, you can push your opponent off the best hand.
A mathematical brain is essential, but the great poker players combine composure with fearlessness and the gift to hide their emotions under extreme pressure.
I find it fascinating looking into the minds of these poker players, just trying to understand what kind of person they are, what kind of person is willing to make a $1 or $2 million decision at the turn of a card.
You have to be mentally tough, and you have to be willing to take calculated risks. If you're able to do that in a disciplined manner, you have a good chance of being successful.
It's a game that you can win or lose a lot of money. I play in a lot of cash games now around town. There's chances to win big money, or if you're not on your game, you can lose a lot of money. So it's something that you have to be very competitive about at all times.
You're analysing your opponent, what's happened 5 minutes ago, what happened last year when you played him in another table. I just think from a mental perspective, it's probably the most intensive sport or game that is out there.
When you put in a big bet and you're bluffing, and you've got a fella sitting opposite you or sitting next to you like 3-4 inches away, and he's trying to decide whether you're bluffing or not, and he's looking into your eyes, and he's looking at your body, and he's looking at the sweat beads rolling down the top of your brow. It's like lying to the missus, and she's looking at you. That one little can say, yeah, cool.
When they're talking to players, they're digesting so much information, they're analysing information as the words are coming out of your mouth. You think, what a lovely guy, really interested in me. No, he's just trying to find out what kind of person you are.
And smiling brightly in the middle of this unforgiving multi-million-pound industry is Sam Trickett, unknown in Britain, renowned in the world of poker after 5 years of defeating the odds.
If I have to honestly describe Sam in a very few words to someone, completely, I'd say, he's a lot smarter than you think.
Sam, if you had to go to the North Pole, what would you take with you? Gloves.
You look at him and you think to yourself, where does it all come from?
He doesn't strike you as a mathematical genius. I don't even know if he is. He must be, because he's done very, very well out of the game.
Sam Trickett just has the look of a winner. I'd never want to bet against him.
Folks, you don't see poker played any better. It's incredible what knowledge this Trickett has about poker.
Sam is a very calm, cool cat, and he's able to handle the swings and play poker at the highest stakes without it affecting his life.
It's not an easy concept to grasp that your son, he can buy and sell you.
You can't even put it into words. It's probably like when people win the lottery.
I just feel comfortable at a poker table, and I always feel like I'm the best player at the table.
Coming up, the big one-for-one drop gets underway, and the demons that can derail even the best.
He's certainly had life-changing money for most people, and he didn't have it very long.
I got myself into like £30,000 worth of debt, and this is when I realised I had a problem.